Alright everybody, welcome back once again to Red Zone Rambling. I'm Kyle Losser.
Harrison.
And we're here to talk about Teddy Bridgewater deal that just went down. You want to give us a little bit of information about the trade in and of itself, or the kind of exchange of goods, if you can even call it a trade?
Okay. So the New York Jets are going to send Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th round pick to the New Orleans Saints for a 3rd round pick. That's the gist of it. I mean, it's a pretty smart move for them, I think, overall. Like, money-wise,
I do not agree at all.
Well, I mean, business-wise, they've only spent $500K so far, and they're getting a 3rd round pick basically for $500,000. So that's really good for them, like, financially.
I think you could have gotten more out of a team that's a little more desperate for a quarterback than a 3rd round pick, especially to someone who isn't really that desperate for a quarterback in the Saints. Like, the market is still, I think, a little bit hot for quarterbacks that have consistent play.
I don't think anyone's desperate for a quarterback right now. They didn't think they addressed it already. You know what I mean? Like, every team that was desperate for a quarterback, they got their guy who they think is the quarterback for the future, so I don't think they're going to spend money or give round picks for another guy. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I still think that, like, you still have people like Philip Rivers, who doesn't have very much time, has less time than Drew Brees in my opinion, and isn't as good of a quarterback, and there's really no one behind him who they're grooming. Like, I think that that's just off the top of my head. And then you have Miami, who has a Tannehill situation, and you can think what you want about Tannehill, but he's really, hasn't shown me much.
Both those guys just got paid like last year, so they signed an extension.
I don't know. I think they could have gotten way more for the market, and but what I think the most about this is what it says about the confidence they have in these two quarterbacks, and particularly Sam Darnold. And I think that is a bold claim for them to make on just a few preseason games. What do you think? You think he's the real deal?
I don't think so, because that's why we're doing the same thing about Teddy Bridgewater, just a few preseason games. Because you haven't seen him play in a long time, and we're basing everything off about, you said you could have got more off of preseason.
You have a little bit more of a body of work, though, with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, but it's been 2 years. Like, I was saying, before he got injured, he was on the come-up. He was going to be one of the better quarterbacks. You know, he's rookie of the year 2014, all that stuff. But he was on the come-up before he got that injury. But, I mean, Sam Darnold has been the best rookie quarterback by far this preseason. Like, it's not even close.
I don't know.
And he's shown the most progression easily. And, I mean, they traded up to that pick to get Sam Darnold, you know what I mean? So, there's...
You don't think they could have gotten more for him, for Bridgewater?
I mean, what I thought they should have done, to be honest, we talked about this before, like, I thought they should have played Teddy Bridgewater, and then so let him get a full season of, and then they could have got way more, and then have Sam Darnold sit behind both those guys, Josh McCown, who's already learning a lot behind. But, I mean, like I said, they're super confident in Sam Darnold, and you got your quarterback for the future, I mean, you might as well start him now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not in the camp of starting rookies immediately. That's just me. I think that if you were going to, and you can have him sit under if you were going to, which they're not going, because they're going to start him immediately, right?
I mean, yeah.
That's the talks, at least.
Yeah.
So, but if you are going to sit him, you're going to get McCown, like, come on now. Like, that's who the guy you're leaning on the first part of the season for Darnold to learn under. I get McCown as veteran presence. I get it. Yeah. But
he's a really smart dude. I mean, you saw what he did last year. Like, he doesn't have any specifically great talents, but you saw what he was able to do last year. And you get a guy with Sam Darnold who has all those intangibles and these, like, crazy just athletic abilities with a guy who's smart enough to make do without those things. And I think that's really great for them.
Possibly. Well, anything else you got to say?
I mean, it kind of sucks. I wish Teddy Bridgewater would get a chance to start now, because I think he's good enough to do it. And technically, Drew Brees' last year of the contract is next year, so maybe he starts, who knows. But
yeah,
it's a great situation.
This kind of put a little bit of a question mark on the Brees getting re-signed, or maybe he had talked about retirement. Maybe he talked to the organization about retirement, or maybe they just said, hey, like, we're not going to really, because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, signing a high-profile quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater. So
yeah, I mean, you take for granted guys playing that long. So he'll be 40 this year. Yeah. You know, Tom Brady, we kind of assume that guy's going to play that long, but he could easily retire next year. So.
Yeah, very true. I hope he doesn't. I love Drew Brees. But that's all we got for today. Make sure you stay tuned.